everyone, the One Pocket Monster has just come by to recover the table that in the last YouTube, Cosmos tricked it out and made it a special training table, and now he selected a cloth with a lot of ice to it, as we will say, very fast. And the One Pocket Monster, it's good to see him. He's in his cage. I think he's going to want to go out though and hang with Cosmos while they put this table together. And they use a double-back type of glue, a contact cement. And that stretches the cloth and holds it firm so you can position everything just right on the table. And while they're doing that work, I'm going to grab my float coat, my big rod and reel, and I'm going to come outside here and see what Cosmos is up to. Hey, I want to do some sharking. Come on, Cosmos, can you put me on the little boat? I got my big rod and reel and my coat. Cosmos, come on, beam me out on the little boat, but do it softly. Cosmos, nice job of flying me in here. Boy, people, his landings are getting a lot better than the last time. And you imagine, he's pretty accurate to get me through space and on the boat without getting me wet. He's a good bunny. Sometimes, though, when we're playing pool, I'll end up at the grocery store looking at a bunch of carrots, me holding him, and he's like doing this. So you got to kind of keep your eye on old Cosmos, because you'll end up at the carrot store with him. Hello everyone, I'm the Doc, your host for this upcoming film short on the YouTube titled 62 Sharks, Fish, Not Players. What I mean to say, for your affirmation of life for you youngsters, when you get into a pool hall and you're playing some pool and you're having a good time, feeling pretty good, hey, I'm making shots, I feel good about this. The whole time though you're playing pool, there's this lady and she's knocking a few balls in, missing a few. And you start to have a conversation, and they say, well, you know, I'll play for a quick $20. And they say, well, okay, and you say, okay, and next thing you know, boom, 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 that gal has ran the table off. And to make things worse, during the game, they set the 8-ball up, so all they have to do is make it easily. And as you saw there, woo, banking the cue ball, they make the 8. Wow. So there's your affirmation of life. Don't let yourself get sharked. Now, we're out in an area that's good for sharks. We have a nice drop-off here with kelp and heavy rocks. A few sandy areas, but I'm seeing some fish swimming around the bottom of our boat here in this 80 to 90 foot of bottom depth. Now, many times, if you get out really, really deep into this 180 foot of water, you'll see these kind of sharks. They're called six-gill. Fairly large in size, and they're known to be up to 10 to 14 feet long. Look at the size of the tail. And if I run this by one more time for you to look, we'll start at his nose, move along his body, and out to the tail. Wow. See? Now that's a fish. So, they're endangered. You can't fish for them, but when it comes to fishing, I want to catch a big one. You know what I'm saying? I want a big fish. So I have 200-pound test line. I'm using a stainless steel spreader bar, just like if you were halibut fishing. And I have light lead on here, 15 to 24 ounces, but see, that's light compared to the size of the handle and the reel I'm using. Look at that. And if I go ahead and I send it over, I need some bait though. Now, you know, when you're fishing out here and you reach into the old bait box to pull out that magic bait, yeah, just as a youngster would in the days when I was learning how to fish. You know, when you get out on a boat with your dad and you rig the gear up for him, and the two of you drop it down, even if it's catching sharks like this, it's a fun fishery for you kids. And it's productive too, and you'll learn all kinds of little tricks. One of the tricks that I've learned over the years is when I'm out fishing and I'm looking for kings, salmon, and I'm catching a lot of dogfish. Well, let me give you an example. I'm out on an early morning tide. The sun's just starting to come up over the horizon. And as I look over the Cascades, the whole sky and the water starts to turn bright red. I'm using my favorite combination right now behind the camera. This is a rotating hammered flasher that I've made for years. I like the hammered effect because in bright, clear water like it is today, it's not as strong a flash because of the hammered dots on the blade itself. It diffuses the light better, doesn't spook the fish. I'm using McCoy line, 50-pound test mean green. It's a copolymer line. It has a lot of plasticity to it, holds strong, and I'm using 5 and 6-odd hooks. Now my bait is just a herring, but I take a toothpick and I stick it up its butt and give it a good fast, snappy spin, and I send it down to 80 to 90 foot in this suspended fishery here. And kings absolutely adore this, but also these dogfish. But the one thing, boat speed is so fast that those dogfish, they can't catch it because of the boat speed pulling the flashers quickly. See, a dogfish has to swim up, kind of rotate over and invert its jaw to grab the bait. Well, with your speed, see, they just can't do that. So if you're in an area and you're fishing for kings and you can't get through the dogfish, your problem is you're trolling too slow. Your bait is moving way too slow. I mean, come on. I've been filming these kings in kelp beds for years. Now, does that fish look like he's not made for speed? Woo! So if you're going 2 knots, that fish is like, oh, you know, whatever. So just keep that in mind and always troll with and across the current. This is the doc reminding you, be safe out in the water. Of course, wear your life jacket. And your affirmation of life, don't get sharked in a pool hall. That's right, don't get sharked. Bye-bye. I am baiting up and going after it.